What's going on, guys? Carlo Macapinlac here from newbiefitnessacademy.com, and today I'm going to show you 10 diet and workout myths, which are really lies that you still believe in, that are definitely holding you back from achieving your weight loss goals. A lot of these myths are severely outdated information, but are often considered conventional wisdom, and people just follow it blindly. But that doesn't always mean that it's the truth. And if you're still following these outdated myths, then that's definitely gonna hinder your weight loss goals. Because losing weight is hard enough as it is. You definitely don't wanna make it harder by following bad information. So let's debunk these weight loss myths once and for all. Before we get started, give this video a like, subscribe to my channel, and hit the bell to get notified every time I post a new video every week. Okay, let's jump right into probably the most popular diet myth out there. And it's important you get this right because this is gonna set the tone for the rest of your day, whether you're moving towards your weight loss goals or away from it. And it's the myth that breakfast is the most important meal of the day. This has been ingrained in our heads for who knows how long now. And the general idea is that you need to eat something first thing in the morning to kickstart your metabolism. The thing is, your metabolism doesn't really stop when you sleep, otherwise you'd die. And yes, your metabolism does go up a little bit when you eat because of something called the thermic effect of food. It's the energy required for digestion, absorption, and disposal of your ingested nutrients. The thermic effect of carbs, for example, is 5 to 15% of energy consumed, 20 to 35% for protein, and 5 to 15% for fat, which means that when you eat, you're still at a caloric surplus. It kind of defeats the point, don't you think? Because if you want to lose weight, specifically body fat, you need to be at a caloric deficit, assuming that your hormones are fully optimized for fat loss. You definitely can't just cut calories. It doesn't work long term, and that's another myth, by the way. And my entire channel is dedicated towards debunking the calories in versus calories out myth, so make sure you check out my other videos if you're new to the channel. Now, there's nothing inherently wrong with eating breakfast, by the way. Like, I love breakfast food. It really depends on the types of breakfast foods that you consume, because there is a world of difference in how your body responds to eating bacon, eggs, and avocado, for example, versus eating a bowl of breakfast cereal with skim milk, toast with jam, or instant oatmeal. The former is a nice and nutritious meal full of healthy fats and protein, which will help keep you satiated, while the latter is a nutrient deficient, sugar-laden meal that's going to cause a huge spike in your blood glucose levels with a corresponding response in your insulin levels. So insulin is your storing hormone, which then puts your body in fat storage mode. And high insulin blocks fat burning. That is a very important concept that you need to understand. So if your breakfast is composed of the latter, breakfast might be the most important meal of the day for you not to screw up. Number 2, the myth that skipping a meal will put your body into starvation mode. Okay, so this is directly tied to the first myth in that you need to eat first thing in the morning. Because skipping a meal, especially the all-important breakfast, is somehow gonna put your body in starvation mode. No. Listen, scheduled meals are completely made up. Like, we are the only species on the planet that feels the need to shove cornflakes down our throats first thing in the morning. Like, I remember force feeding myself when I was younger, even though I wasn't hungry. And kids inherently know this. Like, when kids aren't hungry, good luck feeding them. They're gonna be kicking and screaming. They won't eat if they're not hungry. It's only us that teaches them that they need to eat at certain times. Let me ask you this. What do you think will happen if you skip a meal? Nothing. In fact, you're probably going to lose weight because your body has survival mechanisms that gets triggered when you skip a meal. Like, our Paleolithic ancestors definitely did not wake up first thing in the morning and say, oh geez, I better eat breakfast because breakfast is the most important meal of the day. No, sometimes they would go a full day or 2 or 3 without eating and they were perfectly fine. Myth number 3, eating 6 small meals a day to fuel your metabolism. Since we're in the topic of not skipping meals, so this kind of fuels that fire, and this was popularized by the bodybuilding industry. And again, the concept being that you need to eat constantly to fuel your metabolism, to burn more fat. You need to take advantage of that thermic effect of food, which again really only lands you in a caloric surplus. But then some people say, but they're smaller meals. Yeah, well, that doesn't really help the argument. The biggest problem of this way of eating is that it's extremely tedious. Your entire day basically revolves around eating constantly, and the meals are not satiating at all. You're always hungry when you eat this way. And to make it convenient, we start gravitating towards highly processed packaged foods like granola bars and protein bars. And if you want to keep the calories down, we start eating even more highly processed foods like low calorie and low fat versions of foods. Again, those foods are not satiating at all. And satiety plays such a huge role when it comes to weight loss. So again, every time you eat, you trigger the fat-storing hormone insulin to store all the nutrients from your meal. So it puts your body in fat storage mode. Now, this is a very important concept that you need to understand. your body can only be in two states. You can either be in the fat state or the fasted state, and insulin is what controls this process. That's why a lot of people consider insulin the master hormone. It's the hormone that controls your body weight. So every time you eat, again, your body goes into fat storage mode. And if you eat constantly, if you eat your 6 meals a day and you're eating a lot of these processed foods, which are extremely insulinogenic, you are in fat storage mode all day long. This, by the way, explains why you're not losing weight, even though you're eating just these tiny little meals. You're eating like a bird and you're only eating like 1,000 calories every day. Myth number 4, fat makes you fat. So this belief started back in 1980 when the USDA released the first dietary guidelines for Americans, telling everyone to eat 6 to 11 servings from the bread, pasta, bread, and cereal food group. And on top of that food pyramid is where you can find fat, because fat is calorically dense, and that's also where the energy balance theory was born. All you have to do is cut calories, and because fat is calorically dense, all you have to do is cut the fat. So everyone started going on a low-fat diet. We started buying low-fat foods. We started buying low-calorie versions of foods. We started buying low-fat dairy. We started buying low-fat cheese and skim milk. We started buying egg whites because apparently cholesterol is bad for you. It's not. Cholesterol is essential to every cellular function in your body, and the yolk specifically is actually the healthiest part of the egg. It contains something like 13 vitamins and minerals. And dietary fat is essential to your body, especially when it comes to activating your satiety hormones. My point is, fat doesn't make you fat. If anything, if you're not eating enough fat, you're probably fat. Here's a bonus myth for you about fat, in that it clogs up your arteries and it causes heart attacks. That is completely false. Your arteries gets clogged up from inflammation from eating a lot of sugary and processed foods, not fat. And new studies actually now show that the more saturated fat you eat, the more protected you are from heart disease. Number 5, the myth that drinking milk is good for you. I kind of brushed on buying skim milk in the last myth, so let's talk about it a little bit more. Because it hurts me every time I hear somebody order a skinny vanilla latte whenever I'm at Starbucks. And I love to pick on skim milk because it's gross. And if you compare skim milk versus regular milk, yes, it's lower in calories because fat gets taken away, but it's usually higher in sugar. So how is that any better? The other thing about milk is that we are the only species on the planet that drinks milk from another animal. It's kind of weird if you think about it. And really the biggest reason why we do this is that it contains calcium, and calcium is good for your bones. Well, you can find calcium from better sources like nuts and green leafy vegetables. And I want you to think about it this way, because this is a very important concept that you need to be able to wrap your head around. Cow's milk is full of something called IGF-1, insulin growth-like factor 1, which is designed to grow a 90-pound baby calf to a 1,500-pound fully grown cow in 15 months. How do you think that's gonna affect your body? And when a cow is fully grown, they stop drinking milk. We as human adults still drink this stuff. Number 6, the myth that red meat is bad for you. No. Any study out there that somehow claims that eating red meat is bad for you is usually just based on something called an epidemiological study, which can really only prove correlation but not causation. And there's usually some sort of plant-based propaganda behind it. And saying that red meat is bad for you just goes against evolution. We evolved to eat plants and animals. Every anthropologist out there will tell you that the growth of the human brain, and this is how we rose to the top of the food chain, is directly linked to us discovering fire and building tools to hunt animals more efficiently. Simply put, we evolved to eat meat. Like a lot of native tribes who still live a hunter-gatherer life are perfect examples of this, like the Maasai tribe from Africa or the Inuits in Canada. But let's use the Inuits from Canada because I'm from Canada. Their diets up to this day still mainly consists of animals because plants aren't really abundant in the north. So they mostly hunt fish, caribou, and seal. And what they do is they actually eat and prefer the fattiest parts of the animal. And they also eat organ meat because it is the most nutritious and nutrient-dense part of the animal. So again, fat isn't bad for you, and they don't suffer from modern Western diseases like diabetes, obesity, and cancer. They actually only start getting those diseases when they start eating a modern Western diet. Go figure. Myth number 7, spending hours at the gym to burn calories. I'm talking specifically here about those people who spend countless hours at the gym on their favorite cardio machine. And they go at it for hours because they're trying to burn calories. And I have a completely separate video on why this concept doesn't work, so make sure you check that out. But really all you need to know is that it's been widely proven that calories burned during your workout does not translate to fat burn in your body. And if you haven't lost any weight, even though you've spent countless hours on the elliptical, you already know this to be true. But for some reason, you're still doing it. Your number one goal when you exercise is to build lean muscle mass because that is the primary driver of your metabolism. And if you're trying to lose weight, there is literally nothing better that you can do than increasing your metabolism. And you don't need to spend hours at the gym in order to achieve this. If you do like a HIIT workout, for example, you can get a lot of work done in like 10 to 15 minutes. That's it. You don't need to spend hours at the gym. I want you to think less but more intense when it comes to your workouts and focus on introducing movement throughout the day. Myth number 8, the anabolic window. This is the idea that you only have a small window, something like 30 minutes after your workout, to drink your protein shake or eat enough Nutella to induce diabetes to fuel your muscles after your workout. This is purely bro science. Real studies show that the timing doesn't really matter when you eat your protein as long as you eat it at some point during the day. It's the amount of total protein intake that matters. Your body is also extremely efficient at recycling old proteins and turning it into new ones. Again, this just goes back to evolution. Our Paleolithic ancestors sometimes would go days without food. If there was such a thing as an anabolic window, they would have withered away and that would have been the end of our species. Myth number 9, and this is directly linked to the anabolic window, in that you need to drink a protein shake. I'm killing potential sponsorship deals here, but this is just bro science. Listen, we are extremely over-proteinized as a society, and eating too much protein is not good for you. You actually need way less protein than what you've been led to believe. You really only need 0.7 grams per pound of lean body mass in order to promote muscle growth. And if you do the math, that's not a lot. Like a 200-pound person, for example, at 20% body fat would only need to eat 112 grams of protein. That's it. The other problem with protein shakes is that whey and casein, which is what protein powders are made out of, are extremely insulinogenic because they're highly processed and they're usually sweetened with sugar or artificial sweeteners, which are also fattening. Plus, protein powders are not satiating at all. Like, what do you think is more satiating? A scoop of protein powder or 3 eggs? And my general rule for protein is this: don't drink your protein, eat it. Myth number 10, the myth of detox and juice cleanses. Let's call a spade here. A juice cleanse is nothing more than a really expensive, high sugar crash diet. Listen, when I was doing my research on this, I saw a company selling a 3-day cleanse called Deep Clean for $125. The only deep clean that happens here is that it deep cleans your wallet. All a juice cleanse does is that it puts you in a massive calorie deficit, and that's why you lose weight when you do this, while pumping you with sugar, which triggers massive cravings. That's why people get headaches and are just miserable when they do this. And then when they finish the cleanse, they put the weight back on. Sound familiar? Did you know that your body has a natural detox system? It's called your liver. There you go. I just saved you $125. Number 11, bonus myth, and that it's normal for you to gain fat as you get older. I hate this myth. That's why I added it, because it's just a defeatist attitude. Listen, if you eat a crappy diet and you don't exercise, then yeah, you're gonna get fat and you're gonna get sick and your quality of life will suffer. The average American, for example, gains 1.5 pounds of fat and loses 0.5 pound of muscle every year starting at the age of 25 up until 55. The average American adult is also in the overweight or obese category. And a majority of them, I would bet, follows a lot of these popular myths that I just mentioned in this video. But you don't need to be part of that statistic. You need to be above average. Because time and time again, and I see this with all my students inside my Fat Loss Accelerator program, I've seen them achieve amazing results because they armed themselves with the right information, they take care of themselves, they follow the right diet and the right exercise, not these myths, and they are in the best shape of their lives. Some of them are in their 50s and 60s. Who doesn't want that? Listen, at the end of the day, it's really all about putting yourself in the best possible position to succeed. And it starts by knowing the right information and debunking a lot of these myths so you can start making better decisions moving forward. The next question then becomes, how are you actually supposed to eat if you want to lose weight? Because here's the thing, 80% of your body composition is determined by your diet. You can't just freestyle this part. Do you have a proven plan that you can follow? To help you with that, I want to give you a free copy of my Lean Body Blueprint. This is how I melted all the fat around my stomach without depriving myself of my favorite foods or wasting hours at the gym. It's a simple 4-step process specifically designed for busy professionals, and it's the exact same blueprint that I teach to all my private coaching clients, and they've all gone to see some amazing results. If you want to be the next success story, then download your free copy of the Lean Body Blueprint right now. There's going to be a link somewhere at the top here or in the description box. Just click on it, type in your email, and I'll send it to you right away. Alright, that's all I've got. Give this video a thumbs up if you enjoyed it and share it with your friends. Please subscribe to my channel if you haven't already. I post a new video every week. And hey, leave a comment below if you have any questions about this video. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next video. Virtual high five.